But you know
Mostly
what?
God's light.
Speaking of straying away from God's light, I think it's time. Speaking, I think it's time to get into. Oh, there's more where that came from, buddy. With this one,
God, we haven't even
time
gotten
to.
into this yet. Jesus.
Oh, there's more where that came from. But getting into our number 4 on this coaching carousel is Rick Pitino going to St. John's. Now you all know why we said that. So Matt, try to regain your composure. And what are your thoughts on this move?
You have set the bar incredibly low for that, number one, good sir. And number two, how am I supposed to knock on this move even with that? Let's just take the morality of the situation and throw it out the window for a brief moment. Rick Pitino
There's no
is
morality in this.
this is the most immoral podcast known to man. But the one thing that you can't ignore.
Did you forget Barstool exists?
No, but we went pretty low there. I mean, we're at mole level right now. We're trying to avoid the molten core. Now what was I talking about? Rick Pitino. There's one thing, morality aside, that you can say about Rick Pitino, and that's he's a winner. He's won everywhere he's gone. It doesn't matter if it's been except the Boston Celtics. And even then, he was more successful than we think he was. It just seems like it was really, really bad, but it was only somewhat bad. But in college basketball, Rick Pitino is a winner. Whether it be Kentucky, Louisville, Providence, Iona, who he raised kind of out of an irrelevant malaise to be at this point. And now you're telling me you're going to put him in New York at a school with a long tenured history where he gets to play his home games at Madison Square Garden, where he gets the lush recruiting grounds that are New York City and pretty much the entire Eastern Seaboard. And you're going to tell me he's not going to be successful for some reason. I can't buy that. I can't. I mean, I know it doesn't look great right now. St. John's doesn't really have a lot of commits right now. I mean, they've got a guy they've got Brandon Gardner, a power forward on a letter of intent. One of Rick Pitino's guys, and Jenkins is transferring in to St. John's. But what I do like is already Rick Pitino's like taking control of the program and told anybody if they don't want to be there, he's pulled the Deion Sanders to go ahead and get out. They're going to build around their really good center. I can't imagine a world. I mean, I'm trying to be nice here, or not nice isn't the opportune word. I'm trying to be objective here and be like, it's going to take a while to build a program, but it's Rick Pitino. I didn't think he was going to do much when he went to Iona. I just thought it was like, oh, this is his like retirement destination. He's going to win some games. He's going to look cute, yada yada. I mean, I really think that, and I'm going to save this for another. I have a take on the Big East. I'm going to save for when we get more up with our coaching takes. But I mean, I can't see how this doesn't work. St. John's has been a mess. They've had really good players. It's easy to forget. They've had really good players in the midst of them being absolutely, I don't know what the word is, up and down, unpredictable. Like they had Champagne. They brought in Curbelo from Illinois last year. They've had good players, and they just haven't been able to put it together. And if anybody can put that together and fits the personality of the city, fits the personality maybe kind of the school fairly well, it's Rick Pitino, a guy who's going to fit in like a glove in the Big East. And I mean, I'm excited to see whether it takes 1 year or 2 years for them to get right back up, because they're sniffing around every transfer. They're sniffing around every recruit in the area. Rick Pitino is up to Rick Pitino things, and I mean that in the good way, not the usual, oh crap, here come the sanctions way. So I'm really excited to see what he does there, because this just seems like it's almost eerie how perfect the fit is for Rick Pitino at St. John's.
I'm going to need you to buckle your seatbelt, bud. Because first off, shout out to the Aaron Torres podcast for teaching me this reference, because this is a total big Rick energy move by St. John's. But overall, I'm a coin flip, straight 50-50 on whether I love or hate this move altogether. I love it because he is a great coach. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a champion. He's taken 3 teams to the Final Four. And St. John's, like Matt said, he's looking to revamp the roster for next season. But why I could hate it, he's old. He looks like death worn over since the Katina Powell scandal unfolded. And I'm worried that he might not even last as long. Oh, okay, it won't go there. We're a family podcast. So I think I can see this being a really good move short term. But if you're looking to build your future long term for if you're St. John's, I don't know if this is it. This is a great stepping stone, great get your program headed in the right direction move. But if you're looking to the future, there's not much one there. So that's what I got to say. Now I hope Matt doesn't hate me too much.
I quit paying attention after you said Big Rick energy.
I did not come up with that.
I know you didn't, and I'm disappointed in you for repeating it, young man. I'm sorry.
As I'm older than you, sir.
I know. That doesn't mean anything about maturity, though, now does it?
You're right, it does not.
I do get that apprehension, though. I mean, let's be honest here. Rick Pitino is not exactly a young, hot coaching prospect, which is part of what makes him intriguing, is because you're getting a proven product. You're getting a guy who's taken at least 4 different schools to Final Fours. Not 4, maybe 3.
3.
3. There's something about the 4th school with Iona that was impressive. Like 4 different schools, like Elite Eights or something. Not Elite Eights. Either way, you're getting a guy who's a consistent winner, even if he is like 80 years old. And I guess what they're figuring is kind of like with Indiana and Mike Woodson, who's also, not exactly a spring chicken. It's going to be like they're there until they're done, and you just have to prepare for the eventuality and enjoy the ride while it's happening. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a long-term move. I think St. John's just for a basketball program that historic. I would absolutely love it if St. John's got relevant while Lou Carnesecca is still with us, because Lou Carnesecca is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty darn impressive. So I would like to see him become like a Sister Jean figure just for one last tournament run, and then one of Rick Pitino's assistants can take over. Maybe Kenny Payne will move up there. I don't know.
Oh, we're already getting started on that foot. We're already crushing the hopes of Louisville fans around here.
R.I.P. Louisville fans. I'm gonna crush your heartbreak and snort it.
Well, now who's climbing down the morality ladder, sir?
I am crushing hopes and dreams and snorting them. I did not. Oh,
I'm saying puns. You're talking about crushing hopes and dreams. I think that's worse.
I don't know. Depends on what kind of pun we're making.
We could run a poll on this
you
after
and
the
your
show.
Euphemisms.
We could let the fans decide this after the show.
I don't know. Do we still have access to Twitter polls, or have we lost that?
That's a good point. I think we have lost that because we're not famous enough yet. We don't have that blue check that apparently we have to pay for.
Yeah, we're only verified as nutcases, nothing else.
If LeBron James isn't paying for it, I sure as hell am not paying for it. Which, before we go on to number 3, I do want to add that this is probably the most humbling story I've ever heard, is that one of the stories from LeBron in the locker room is that he'd have his Spotify playing, and you would still hear the ads because he's not even paying for Spotify Premium.
I respect that. That's
I
a
do
big
too.
investment. That's a big investment.
Yeah, why are you paying for Spotify Premium? I think that's a waste of money. Okay, you have like one commercial and then you're right back to your playlist.
You get 30 minutes of ad-free listening each time. So, I don't really see the point of paying for that. I don't.
I'm not paying for it. Hey, LeBron's not paying for it. I'm sure as heck not paying for it. He can afford it. He can afford a lot more than I can.
If LeBron James wouldn't buy it, neither will we.
That's our motto. If LeBron wouldn't buy it, neither are we.
We're going to follow LeBron to the store. See what
would LeBron buy?
That's going to be our new
WWLB. What would LeBron buy?